It's known as the Meadowlands. EA Sports welcomes you to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. Tirico and Greg Olsen. It is for real. Season begins here. Off we go from MetLife Stadium. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. They'll run here. It's Breece Hall. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Let's go now. 19, Tiger, 19.
Another run here with Hall. And he is fortunate to get past the line of scrimmage. Call it a yard at most. Savion Jones on the tackle.
And 6.
Third and 6.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They'll look to throw. Quick throw, taken in. Loose inside the 30. And they will bring this into the red zone. Big connection inside the 20. Big gain for the Jets there. 52 yards.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
On the run, here's Hall. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
Taken down at the 11-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5.
Here we go. Bronco 80. Check out.
He'll go again with Hall.
The ability to read and then react on this run. That was the key to this play here, Mike, for the linebacker. He's the run-through player, but when you hit it as fast as he does, the offensive linemen have no chance of getting off their combination blocks to account for you. You get through with speed in the backfield, you take them down for a loss.
This opening drive has been a good one, but will it continue? Here's a test on 3rd down.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Now they'll set up to throw. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Nothing really fancy about that last completion, but what it does do, Mike, is now they're on the doorstep of the end zone. So now they've got to find a way to finish this long drive with a touchdown.
Could we see the first touchdown of the new season? It's 1st and goal.
70 Timberwolves. Ready.
Hall is into the end zone for a Jets touchdown.
It is certainly an ideal way to start a season, Mike. You get the ball first. First, you come out, you look sharp. You're in and out of the huddle. You're super efficient. Not only do you take the ball all the way down the field, but you come away with 6. And I know they sure hope that this is a sign of things to come, not only for this offense today, but as the rest of this season unfolds.
And that one is no good. He missed the extra point. So much for 7 to start. It is a 6-0 game. So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. Now return coming from the 7. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line.
Let's go now. 70 Timberwolves. Ready, ready.
And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
Ball on the 39. Here's second and a yard.
Ready, ready. Panther 60. Panther 60.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. He'll take this for a couple, but the official signaled he has enough. First down.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. 3rd and short, 4th and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and to say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
A toss, left side, caught by his running back. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. Ready.
He'll drop to throw. That's taken in. Keon Coleman. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough, you're never going to get the receiver. I mean, think, he started on the left side of the formation in the slot, and he has to run all the way across the field to the right third. I mean, that takes a lot of time. Let's give a lot of credit to the big guys up front.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Throwing now from the gun. Got a man open downfield on the crossing route. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They got it inside the 15. First catch for him on this new season. And it results in a first down.
Deputy. Bronco 80. Ready.
In the red zone now. He'll drop to throw. And he will win the race to the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Denver.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass, results in the touchdown pass. But really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. You can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns. Man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
So back to level after the touchdown. Time for the kickoff. He'll start at the 4. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there.
Their own 25-yard line.
So wet it down. Get your money up. I put money down.
Ready, ready.
All my people down.
Set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. Catch made, right side by Wilson. He's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down.
And it's his first catch of the game, and it ends up being a good one. All week long, we talked about how this dominant secondary wanted to take away their best targets. And if he continues to make plays like that, their top 10 ranking could take a hit by the end of this one.
And some good running there. That's a first down up to the 43.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
On first down, they go right back to Hall. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Jets first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
Give them 12 on that one. They are on the mark. Another first down.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Go.
They give to Hall. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. The Jets have it here to start quarter number 2. They've got it with 2nd and 3 coming up. On the handoff, it's Hall running right. And he'll get the first down there, a pickup of about 5 yards.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10.
70 Timberwolves. Hut, hut.
The handoff, here comes Hall. And he'll get about 5.
The tackle made at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5.
Let's go. 70 Lions. Check go.
Again, here's Hall. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Set. Viking 18. Hut.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
Oh, looked like he mishit it. He missed that one from short range. No good. And this will remain a tie ball game.
Well, no excuses here, Mike. This is pretty clear. He just flat out pulled it and winds up missing it wide left.
Ready? 70 Lions. Let go.
They'll begin here on the ground. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down.
1 yard gain brings up second and 9.
Let's go now. Panther 60. Panther 60.
Back to throw. He'll go left side here and complete this one. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40. They get 12 yards on that pass. First down, Broncos.
There's a reason certain guys, Mike, just always seem to be open. It's really because route running is more art than it is science. How do you manipulate the defense to find open spots or win versus man to create separation and earn the trust of your quarterback?
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, this one is complete. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And he'll be out of bounds down at the 20. So they get 24 on that one. Good for a Denver first down.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
Now off the bootleg, he'll look to throw here, and he'll dive forward at the end in an effort to pick up an extra yard or two.
Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
They'll come up here on second down and 5.
Let's go. Cowboy 80. Steady.
Now they'll run. It's a counter. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on third down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on first and second down to gain positive yards. Stay on track because you don't want to be in third and pass too often in today's NFL.
And that is incomplete. Keon Hogan, the intended receiver. And it's going to be fourth down. So the Broncos will turn things over to the field goal unit. This from extra point range, a 33-yard field goal attempt. Oh, he missed it from short range. A bad miss. It's no good. And the score remains level. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin first and 10.
Come on. Set. 60 Bison. 60 Bison.
Right away, they'll set up to throw. That one caught by Wilson. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get it to the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
On the give, it's Hall. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up third down.
that short run puts them a little bit closer to the first down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
Here's third down and a few inches.
Here we go, set. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
2 minutes to play here in what's been an even first half. Greg and I back with more on this opening week after this. Third and inches.
Let's go now.
Open man, right side. He's got it. He's going to have the first down. So they convert on third down with a pickup of 9.
Third and inches, you see a lot of teams try to take a shot. Why, Mike? Because they know on fourth and inches, they still have a chance to convert the first down. The shot wasn't there, but they're still able to pick up a nice gain and convert and bring up first down.
Give up the middle with Hall. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
The best linebackers at this level, Mike, they have all the physical attributes. That's a given. But it's really their instincts. It's their ability to dissect and predetermine where the ball is going before the ball is even snapped. And you could see with how fast he met the back at the point of attack, he knew exactly what play was coming.
Looking to throw here on 2nd and 10. The reception for Rashid Shaheed. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. First catch for him on this new season. And it results in a first down.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
They'll throw out of the gun. His pass taken in by Shaheed. Now the Jets going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
As he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
Oh, that's the one thing they couldn't have there, the sack that might take them out of field goal range.
This offensive line has to do a better job, Mike, of communicating the protection pre-snap, especially on these key third downs. The blitz overwhelms them from the jump, and now they're picking their quarterback off the ground.
This one not going to get there. From distance, it is no good. And this will remain a tie ball game.
Man, that would have been such a nice boost for this group going into halftime. The snap was good. The hold was good. He just couldn't quite get it through the uprights.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more. as this second half gets underway. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
Ready, ready. Candy Lion. Let's go.
Off the first down throw there is incomplete.
You talk about a quarterback getting bailed out, and that is a pick all day long. And as this defender enters the huddle, you see a bunch of his guys hitting him on the helmet, but I can promise you they're saying, next time, you got to come down with that one.
Ready. Bronco 80. Let's go.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. This one going to be sniffed out. Blown up in the backfield.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. It's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
Panther 60. Panther 60. Ready.
Throwing now on 3rd and long. To the right side here. Pass is caught. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down. And the Broncos bring out their punter. They'll kick it away. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. Start this drive on the ground. It's Hall. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as he gets this up to the 40-yard line.
The ability to be effective on 1st down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a 3rd down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
On the option, here's Hall. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down.
He was brought down by Drew Sanders. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 43-yard line.
Set. 60 Bison.
Here's Hall. I don't think that was going too far either way. Defense right on it. They hold him to no gain.
I know it's easy from up in the booth, Mike, but I think that's one of those zone reads where the quarterback needs to pull it and keep it himself. The defense was clearly keyed on the running back. Not much room in there. No gain.
3rd and 7. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. It's made right side. It's Johnson. And he couldn't get free along the sideline. He's out of bounds. No gain. And it sets up 4th down. And he couldn't get that one to check up. It'll keep bouncing into the end zone. It's a touchback. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
Drive will start on the ground. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Hawk 70. Hawk 70. Ready, ready.
Now they'll set up to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line.
That's good.
A gain there of 10 yards. First down, Broncos.
First and 10 at the 32.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
Toward the middle of the field that time, but incomplete.
It's just a matter of time. I don't care how good you are or how good a hand you have. You are going to drop passes. It is inevitable in the NFL. But it's the guys that don't let one drop pass lead to two. They have the ability to put it behind them, move forward, and they can't wait for that next ball to be thrown their way.
Back to the air once more on second down. His throw left side is complete. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. That's a pair of hookups on this drive. This one goes for 14 yards and a first down.
Ready? 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Let go.
Now a give up the middle. Finds room inside the 40. And it will finally be taken down at the Jets' 19-yard line.
That's another
A big-time play for the Broncos. 35 yards.
first down.
Big hole up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick, and he hit it. And next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pickup.
So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20.
Ready? Cowboy 80. Go.
They'll stay on the ground. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple.
At the 16-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up second and 7.
Okay, break.
Second down, they need 7.
Go. Viking 18. Ready?
They'll look to throw. Quick throw, taken in. To the pylon, he's in. Touchdown, Broncos.
And what a fitting end to this drive, Mike. It only makes sense that he's the one that gets the ball in the end zone after making a handful of clutch plays prior to the touchdown. That was just a textbook example of one guy taking over the game.
Makes the score Broncos 13, Jets 6.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
On the ready. Let's go now. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
On first and 10, they'll set up to throw. This throw left side, taken in by Johnson. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33. They get 11 and quickly pick up the first down.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
A run here with Hall. They'll mark them down up at the 44-yard line. That's 11 yards again, 2 plays in a row. And And another first down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver there. And that will lead to a second down. They'll run. This is Hall. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up third down.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Let's go. 19, 18. Go.
He'll drop to throw. Catch made right side by Wilson. He's going to have the first down. That one good for 9, and the drive continues.
Nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than being able to pick up a first down without being forced to push the ball downfield and force it past the line to gain. He settles for the underneath check down. He's confident that his receiver is going to pick up the rest after the catch.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up here, 1st and 10.
Set. 60 Eagle, 60 Eagle.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Back to throw. This one on target for Johnson. He's going to be taken down at about the 30. His second catch of the drive. This one good for 15 and a first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 8.
72.
He'll look to throw. Got his man on the in route. Yes, take it in over the middle. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
They'll try to run for it with Hall. And he's got nowhere to go. That defensive front controls the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
If you send your field goal unit on the field, Mike, it gives you a chance to chip away at this deficit. And I think I'm keeping my offense on the field. I'm going to one of my critical plays on my call sheet. Keep this drive alive. The hope is to come away with 6.
Trailing late, they've got to go here. It's 4th down. He's done his man, complete to Johnson.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive, would be a bit of a letdown.
Shotgun snap, and a give to Hall. And this defense not fooled by the option. They stick with the running back, and they get him down for no gain.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
It is 2nd and 9.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Blitz coming, he'll throw it. Shaheed with the catch. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play. Winning his route versus man coverage, or catching this pass. Because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
Cowboy 80.
Now, faking the give. This one is caught by Dotson. To the goal line and in. Dotson. Touchdown, New York. A huge touchdown there in the 4th quarter, and now just a point away from tying the game.
And that's one of those drives, Mike, where you know your best is needed. Can you come through here late and give your team a chance? They're an extra point away from tying this thing up, and we got ourselves a ball game.
So they're not level yet. A critical extra point attempt to follow. And this is no good. He missed the extra point, and they remain down by 1 in the 4th quarter. So it is back to a 1-point game now in the 4th quarter as they kick it away. Showing off the big leg. Didn't want to defend a return, so this ball going to be spotted at the 35-yard line.
Come on. Set. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Go.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he's going to give his guys a short field to work with and a chance to take the lead.
It's just the last thing you can afford to do, especially in this situation. Like, there's just no need to force the ball. You're playing with a lead. It's late in the game, and I know he's got a lot of confidence in his arm, and he thinks he can get away with it, but that decision, it proves to be costly.
It's 1st down, and it's Paul. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
And that should be enough. He works his way forward to pick up a 1st down.
3 yards. That's good for the Jets. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
with Hall. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
He'll go again with Hall. And he'll take this down to the 2-yard line, but they are in business. First and goal coming up.
And the offensive line does a really nice job winning this play at the point of attack. And once he got the ball, all he had to really do was just find a crease and hit it, and he's able to pick up the first down.
He'll try to run this one in. And he barrels his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that fourth quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Big play coming here for the Jets as they will set up for two.
The Jets will line up for a 2-point conversion.
60 Bison. Let's go.
And he will get into the end zone for the two and extend the lead to 7 points.
I know it sounds like I'm being biased, Mike, but I'm really not. Down here this close to the end zone, especially on 2-point tries, the size, the length, the athleticism, and matchups these tight ends can create, man, they are a tough handle, and it leads to 2 points.
So a big change here. They go from down 1, score the touchdown, add the 2. Now they lead by 7 as they kick it off. This one taken at the 7. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Bison, 60 Bison.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. This one batted away. Good coverage there. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, like, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Looking to throw here on 2nd and 10. Good work there defensively. Knocked it away, and that pass ball's incomplete.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. And that's going to be incomplete. They had to take that chance, trailing here in the 4th. But they will turn it over on down. They will run it over center with Hall. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
So these situations, Mike, are always very tricky for a play caller. Of course you want to keep the clock moving. You're just trying to run the game out and maintain this lead, but you also don't want to become overly predictable. So with the defense just selling out to stop the run, I think they have to mix in a few high completion percentage passes to just at least keep them off balance.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, set. Cougar 19.
Handoff, here comes Hall. And he'll get maybe about 4 yards out of that one. Playing close quickly. Here comes 3rd down.
A gain of 5.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense, and right now it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Third down, here's Hall. And he's taken down, but they are in business. This sets up 1st and goal. Now the Broncos going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the 1st down.
Let's go now. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They'll run, it's Hall. This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain.
So there's multiple factors, Mike, that make blitzes successful. So, of course, there's the initial design. Can you attack the vulnerabilities of the offense's blocking scheme? And then in this case, the next phase is the timing. You can see this linebacker knew exactly when that ball was going to be snapped. The offensive line had no chance to identify and pick him up, and he's able to bring him down for a loss.
One more time, they give it to Hall. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play.
And that's exactly how you stress all week, finishing a game. Get the ball and leave no doubt. But that late touchdown, Mike, that should all but just seal this victory away.
On for the PAT is Aubrey. His kick is good. And the Jets will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter.
Broncos 13.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. This will be returned from the 6. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here we go.
They'll come up for 1st and 10.
Go.
They'll go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Jets. They move to 1-0, getting the victory to begin the new campaign.